Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Sacred Christmas Reset with Murmur. Wow, we've just returned last week from the most inspiring, heart-bursting, open, most joyful experience I have been in with other women. 150 women gathered together on the land, and we shared ceremony together. We took the extra week because
there was just the need for integration from such a, just what we witnessed fall away for ourselves and for other women, and the joy and the beauty that was there, and the slightly rocky things to walk through as well. It just required the integration to, because we could feel there was something that was wanting to birth for this Sacred Christmas Reset that was going to be made more powerful from taking the time to just really simmer in the juices of that beautiful experience
of women.
Women are incredible.
Women shining together.
So
we're just so grateful to be here with you, and it just feels like such a blessing to walk through this December period together, and to really to show a whole new way of doing that.
Because I read a stat recently actually which kind of blew me away. How much time do you think women spend in the 3 weeks leading up to Christmas and preparing for Christmas?
For the whole time?
Yeah, in 3 weeks. How much time do you think?
Like 20 hours?
60. 60 hours.
60 hours?
It's like, that is a part-time job.
Oh my God.
It's 20 hours a week. It's a part-time job, and we wonder why we're feeling so stretched and so overwhelmed. And it can really just sort of take us away from what we're actually wanting to create. So I just thought I just had to share that because it blew my mind.
And keeping that stat in your mind as you walk through December, like, because a lot of that is unseen. A lot of that is that goes unnoticed. And not really acknowledged.
So we see you.
Yeah, we see you.
We see you, and all the lists that you're creating, all the people that you're buying for, all the things all that you are taking on board. And just all the threads that women and as mothers we do to thread beauty and reverence and connection through our actions, but that they often quiet ones that happen in the background, but that they create so much. Such a beautiful container, but often at the detriment to ourselves. That we get to Christmas Day and we can feel completely frazzled because we do put ourselves to one side, and that's really part of what we're wanting to do today. It's like hitting pause button before we step into December, so that you can really fill your cup up and get clear on how you want to walk through this season and what you're wanting to create for yourselves, and the ways. You know, we've got between us, we've had so many years experience working with women and in our own lives to find, as, you know, busy mums, to find those simple ways of looking after ourselves amongst everything else that's going on. So we're really excited to share all those with you, and we've created something really special that we want to share with you that we'll talk about at the end.
That will really support you to walk through December and stay anchored in self-love and self-care, so that you can bring that into your family and to just like enhance and supercharge in the most beautiful way. So we'll share that a little later, but we wanted to.
Is there anything else we want to before we move into ceremony? Is there
no, we just feel like it's important to pause and take a moment, because stepping into ceremony, I mean, we're here to really bring ceremony back to the modern woman, and that ceremony is so much a part of how women function. Deep in ourselves, we function through ceremony and through rhythm and flow. And
it's like a forgotten tool. It really is. That's what keeps blowing our mind every time we, like we're saying, we've come back from this retreat and we offered 3 or 4 ceremonies to this group of 150 women, and every time we offer a ceremony, we see how women respond to that. It lights them up, and it just it's such an incredible tool for transmutation and transformation and remembering something that's deep within our cellular.
Seeing yourselves, that's how we see ceremony, is that there's an opportunity to deeply, deeply remember that you are made of love.
Yeah.
And you're part of everything. And that ceremony takes us into the moment. So we wanted to take a pause before we move into the ceremony, because it is a shift. And that this is really a ceremony masterclass. There's going to be sharing, and there's going to also just be ceremony and ritual, and in a very simple way, but that you can pause and you can re-listen and you can take notes and you can do the rituals in your own time. You can come back to it. But we wanted it to be both because, anyway, I think that's
put it into practice.
To put it into
ceremony
practice.
Into practice.
So let's all just get comfortable. If you need to go and get anything, pause and just go and get that. It's important that you feel grounded and comfortable.
If you have a candle, we will be lighting a candle. You might have a candle that you just want to press pause and get that now.
So
we are stepping into ceremony. So I put it back up here.
So we didn't say before, but my name's Bridget.
And I'm Marie. I'm Marie and I am stepping into ceremony.
And my name is Bridget and I'm stepping into ceremony. And this is a beautiful energetic container. It doesn't matter when you do this ceremony, it's in the now. And so it will open as it is now. Just remember that.
It will hold you in whatever you are experiencing in this moment.
So let's just close our eyes for a moment and take a breath and feel our energy here just grounding into this moment. There's nowhere else you need to be right now but here. And it's okay if your mind is still moving with thoughts and to-dos. Just allow it to move. And just bring your awareness back to just your body here, on the chair or on the floor. And just taking another breath. You might like to pop your hands on your heart and feel that beautiful breath, the breath of life, as it anchors you right here. So yummy, isn't it?
It's amazing just what that simple practice of just closing your eyes and feeling your heart and breathing, just like
And that's what we wanted to talk to. The next part is around, it is around values and intention setting, because we've just experienced that in that moment when there is intention behind decisions or moments in time, it holds a very different energy. And that's what we want to impart today, is that if we can walk through December with intention and with our values clear, then we can make decisions as we go through December that are based back into this moment. Where you were quiet and clear, you were held in ceremony, in connection with other women who see you.
So let's move into looking at our values. And it seems such a simple thing. As you were talking there, I thought, gosh, it's such a simple thing, your values, but often you don't stop to actually pause, and you think you kind of, oh, I know what I value at Christmas. But until you actually pause and write those down, just the power that comes from writing those down and feeling them in your body rather than just kind of rushing through. I know so often you can get to Christmas Day, or I have in the past, just gone, oh, and it's just been a whirlwind, and it's like, oh, hang on, that wasn't what I wanted to create, and it's over. And so by pausing now, well, like you said, we're just going to set ourselves up to be held in that beautiful, like, there's no reason why December can't be one long ceremony in its own way. So
really, sorry, just to that is the true meaning of Christmas. It is about ceremony, and it is about wonder and connection for ourselves as much as our children, and we've just externalized everything in our culture. And so these are the simple ways to kind of pull that back in, and it all comes back to self-care, self-love, and ritual, simple things that just anchor us in. So the intention can flourish.
And we're going to be sharing that in such a simple way as we go through. So it's not lofty. It's actually can be quite simple practices. So let's start with our values. So we're going to close our eyes again. And would you like to talk through this, or should I?
You go.
Okay. So just closing your eyes, place your hands on your heart or your belly, wherever it feels comfortable. And just feeling into what would your ideal Christmas look like? If you could create any Christmas, what would it look like? Just take a moment now to create that in your mind's eye. Who would be there? What would you be doing? How would it feel? Just really tuning in. Anything's possible. What would it look like if anything was possible? What would it feel like? And then gently opening your eyes, and take a moment. We're going to invite you to pause the video in a moment and write down what you felt, and just really like the feelings. What were the feelings, and how did you see it? So
what for you? What would your values feel like?
Well, what I saw as I was doing that is it was a feeling of joy and laughter. It was, I could see both my boys laughing and us playing, and it was just a real feeling of joyfulness and that moment of wonder when they come, and like, it always blows me away every year. My son, it's always about the cookies being eaten and the reindeer coming with the carrots. So he just often doesn't even see the presents. It's like, he came and ate the cookies. He drank the milk I left out. It's just that feeling.
The wonder.
The wonder. And I could see other people around as well, and community, and just, fun and joy and connection. You?
With just connection.
Yeah.
And slowness. Enough so I can witness my family and witness my daughter in that moment, because we only have so many years of that with our children, and I have one child, and so I just want to savor it. I want to just do what I can to build it, and to, in a way, to stretch it out through December, so that I get these opportunities to just be present with her and to be present with myself, because, you know, I know as a child I loved Christmas.
Oh, me too.
I just loved it. And I
used to
still
make
do.
homemade presents for everyone. I used to spend so much time.
Yeah, it's just so. It's just meant for that. You know, I know that not everyone has a joyful experience or memory of Christmas. I've worked for a very long time with a lot of women and a lot of families who have really difficult memories of times like Christmas and birthdays, and so I just want to create joy and reverence and to support my daughter to stay in the wonder, and for us actually to come back to the wonder through things like Advent, things that really build the momentum of the sacredness through December, because the noise of the world and the commercial nature of it is loud.
Yes.
And for me, there's a sense of one of my deepest values is to protect the innocence of my child through, and this is like the time to do it most.
Yeah.
Because it can be the simplest little things.
Oh yeah.
Where love and wonder is.
Infusing the little rituals into the whole month. Yeah.
So whatever yours was, whatever it sounded like or felt like, just taking a moment, and you might like to pause it and to write that down more. Just give it, you know, there is so much power in, like Marie shared, writing it down, but actually the feeling of it, the creating of it in our minds. We are creators. We create the reality that we walk through, and so we can, these visioning, the vision, and I talk to my daughter about it now all the time, the seeds that we plant, they are powerful and they're potent. So take the time, don't just skip over this part.
Yeah. Actually press pause now. If you haven't already.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be a few words, or you might want to draw it or paint it or just write a poem. However it comes through to you.
Or share it with a friend. What I found powerful then, because I saw it as I was speaking, I saw the vision, but it wasn't until you asked me, what did it look like? I got teary, like talking it out.
Because it is real.
It is,
and it becomes real through our mind's eye.
And then if you can sort of bottle all of that up into an intention, really, like what would that intention be?
A statement.
Like a statement that is your intention for the Christmas season. So again, you might like to pause and just take a moment to, you know, with the words that you've written down, with the feeling of it, to create that one statement.
And again, that can be simple.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong.
Yeah, everyone will have a unique. No.
So take the time now.
Yes. So write that down.
And we want to talk you through now, or not so much talk you through, but to lead you through a beautiful and simple ritual. Because as we keep sharing, it's actually we can have the value clear, we can have our intentions set, and we can have visualized it. But if our own tending and our own tenderness to our own heart and our own body and what we need actually to get us through December, if we're not doing that, if we're not able to be responsible for ourselves, self-care, we don't believe self-care is a novelty or a luxury. It's actually how we need to be walking through life, to be responsible for our own energy and how we fill ourselves up. And so we wanted to just introduce a very, very simple ritual that you can do every morning or every evening or both. And this is a ritual we just shared in the ceremony, one of the ceremonies last weekend at the women's retreat. So we adorned 150 women, 75 women each. It was incredible.
Oh my God, it's so amazing just to witness the love, the mirror of love Yeah.
So we tend to share this in everything we do.
Yeah, this particular ceremony.
Because it just gets more and more profound. And because I feel like there's many reasons why, but really it's because to see yourself and to adorn yourself through the eyes of love with simple oil or moisturizer. There's something very potent and anchoring that happens when you look at yourself in the mirror. You know, it's into the eyes of your soul. You can see right in through the personality, through the humanness, right into the light that you are. And the more we can do this, but particularly through busy and quite tiring or stressful periods, the more anchored we are in our own presence. And so we're just going to walk you through this very simple anointing ritual that you can do every morning or every evening.
So you may want to pause the video again and go and get whatever moisturizer or oil you have on hand. But you also can just imagine if you don't have anything to use right now. We very fortunately have our beautiful worthy elixir.
We created these incredible elixirs for women.
And really they were born out of the ceremony that we have been sharing about, witnessing these women and the love that they feel, they see themselves through the eyes of love. And we said, how do we bottle that? How do we put it into a bottle? And then the ingredients for this, for the scent just came through. I've got a background in essential oil, so I kind of knew a bit, but then really it was very much just a transmission of that, and then working with an incredible organic face care beautician, that's the word. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. I will stick to what we're doing.
But they are very, very beautiful. They hold the codes for the new woman.
Yeah. So
are you gonna
do it as well?
Yeah, but maybe we'll just do it with one.
Oh, okay.
So take a little bit of oil, and you can do it here with us, and then when you practice it again, it might be just when you're putting on your moisturizer or your oil in the morning, or just before you go to bed. We're not talking about doing more things, just doing what you're already doing in a slightly different way. So just taking the oil or the moisturizer or just the palm of your hand, and maybe you might take a smell of the oil that you have. This one smells so good. And just holding your palms out in front of you. Just taking a breath there. And then opening your eyes if you're in front of the mirror, or you might like to leave them closed. And we're just going to raise our hand to the third eye between your eyebrows and just very gently stroking the oil down with two of your fingers, whatever feels comfortable. And it's slow and it's gentle. It's an honouring of who you truly are, your true beauty. And just lowering the hands. And you might like to repeat to yourself or say it out loud if you're looking into the mirror. I honour myself. I honour myself. And just taking a moment for those words to truly anchor you in. It's as simple as that. The remembering.
Remembering of your worthiness.
Yeah, your worthiness. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Oh, so simple really. It's the simple practices
And in the resource we've created, we've really expanded on those in that simple ritual, because that is the feedback. I don't know about you, but I hear from women all the time is that they're just not sure what to do. They want to do more self-care. They want to actually start to show themselves more love, but they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And so Marie and I have so much experience in this space and in cultivating reverence and which cultivates spaciousness.
Oh yeah.
You will have experienced that just in that very short little simple ritual. Time just kind of drops away from you. And so...
And like you say, and it's such an important point that it's not about adding more, because as mothers, as women, we've got probably a full plate already. It's about doing what we're already doing, but doing it differently. It's just changing the way that we're doing the things we're doing, and how it makes such a profound shift. You know, if every woman puts on something on their face every morning and night probably, but to do it, you know, instead of just sort of slapping it on, to actually take a moment to see yourself, to adorn yourself, to see it as an adorning and as a ritual. So yeah, it's very simple.
Yeah, very simple. And we've created a beautiful resource with more of that.
Yeah.
Because just to help you on your journey of self-love and self-care.
Oh, really, it's one of our areas of expertise. We work with women, mostly they're mothers, they're busy. Ceremony is our sort of genius in the world. It's what we're here to bring back to the modern woman. And just through our own lives as well, discovered ways to bring those things in a simple way.
Integrate them.
To integrate them into life in a simple way. So we're going to come now into a beautiful grounding practice, which I would invite you to take a moment to actually lay on the earth, on the ground. Get yourself comfy. If you need a pillow under your head or a pillow under your knees. So if you need to pause and set yourself up, just take a moment now. You can also do this seated if you prefer to be seated.
And did you say to me that you used to share this when you taught yoga?
Oh yeah, oh yes. Yeah, and actually there's something else I'd like to share, that this is a practice that I would do often at the end of classes. So I taught yoga for over a decade, and we would often end the class with this practice, and especially in December when you know there's such an outward energy in December, just to center yourself back in. So that's why the grounding practice, it's always a wonderful practice, but especially at this time of the year, we felt like it was a powerful practice to share with you.
Yeah, and just that it can be done in a kind of SOS moment.
Oh yeah.
You know, when you if you start to feel overwhelmed or like there's
anxiety.
Too many to-dos, that this is a beautiful, simple practice. You can do it with your children present.
Yes. So get yourself comfortable, and once you're comfortable, just closing your eyes. So if that feels good for you, just to close your eyes. Let the hands just rest wherever it feels comfortable for you. Just feeling the parts of the body that are connected to the earth, back of the head, back of the body, bottom and legs. Just allowing all of those parts to soften down into the earth. Allowing yourself to be here in this moment. There's nowhere you need to be. You're just right here, laying on the earth. Softening the body down into the earth. Feeling the ways that the earth rises up to meet your body. And allowing yourself to soften into the earth. She's there holding you. And bringing your awareness now into the heart space and into the back of the heart, that space between the shoulder blades, just softening the back of the heart down into the earth. And imagining now tendrils from the heart moving out of the back of the body and down into the earth, through the soil, clay and sand, layers of rocks, weaving their way through underground rivers and lakes, moving down through all the layers of the earth, almost as if they're being called to move down and in, until they reach the very center of the earth. And there's a warm pink light. The tendrils wrap themselves around this beautiful pink light. Perhaps it's a giant rose quartz crystal glowing in the center of the earth. It has a warmth, a presence that feels nourishing and nurturing. And the tendrils of your heart just wrap themselves around this beautiful warm light. And this warmth and energy travels up through the tendrils and into your heart space, up through all the layers of the earth, and into your very heart. And that same warm pink soft light is right there in the center of your heart. There's a pulse that moves between the two. And then very slowly the tendrils that are wrapped around the core of the earth just unfurl themselves and move slowly back up through all the layers of the earth, back up through all the rocks, clay and soil, back through that back door of the heart, back into your heart space. And the warmth in the heart space is travelling down the arms, into your fingers, travelling down your legs, into your toes, warming your belly, moving up into the crown of the head, behind the eyes, into the jaw and the mouth. So that beautiful light moving through the whole of your body. And you feel your body lying here on the earth. And bringing your hands to your heart. Feeling that warmth under your hands, that warmth in your hands. And then bringing your palms together, just gently rubbing the palms together.
And then bringing your hands over your eyes, gently opening the eyes underneath the hands, just letting the light come gently back into the eyes. And a nice gentle caress of the face in whatever way feels good for you. Maybe a little massage down the face. Bringing any movement into fingers and toes. Opening the eyes. Then rolling to one side and bringing yourself up to a seated position. No hurry. Just take your time. You may want to pause here again and just be with that practice for a moment before you come to join us again. So can you imagine going into Christmas Day from that space with that feeling, that grounded connection, that presence.
And the deep honouring of your own needs as well as your family and friends.
Yes.
And community.
Oh yeah.
And that if that could be woven through the whole of December so that it's not something that comes as a reaction to overwhelm or stress or burnout by the end of December or, you know, because a lot of families have kids on school holidays and we just understand all the busyness that happens and it doesn't just end at Christmas.
No.
You know?
No. And it's so funny really this time because it is such an outward social time. But there's also this very deep inner process that's being asked of us, that this opportunity, it's like, it's the end of the year. It's a time of sort of, whether you're consciously or subconsciously, you're sort of taking stock of the year, an inventory, giving yourself, you know, space to actually be with yourself and time for that and to reflect.
And to consider the year ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of my students used to always ask me, what's the number one pose you recommend for Christmas? And what I used to always teach was child's pose. But like, really? It's like, well, yes, because there is such this open outward socializing. If you gave yourself that gift of just coming home every day and coming into child's pose, which if you're not sure what that is, it's just literally being on your knees and then coming, how would you describe it?
On your knees, hands out in front, head on the earth,
and letting your heart soften down to the earth, and letting your forehead just, you know, it's bowing to the earth.
Isn't that a beautiful pose for children as well?
Oh yeah, it's such a beautiful pose, that one, because it's you're laying, like you're bowing to the earth and coming into connection with her, and you can just sort of soften into her, and it becomes a prayer of sorts. Of just, you know,
it does really feel like that for me, that Christmas is asking something more from us that we haven't maybe tapped into yet, and this is the beginning of that.
Yeah,
because the sacredness, and you know that it all comes from the heart, your own heart. All the kindness, the kind words, the compassion, the slowness. It all comes from the tending of your own heart.
Yeah.
And we've really focused on that today. You know, we've talked about reconnecting with the values that we have. Yes. Often those values, they thread throughout the rest of our life, but we haven't ever taken the time to pause and commune with them.
Yeah.
And so, and then to set a clear intention for your December and how you want to walk through it, and the vision for your family, and how you want to be and show up.
What you're wanting to
create.
It's
really powerful, and that all comes, you know, through those simple rituals, the adorning or the self-care rituals that are threaded. They have to be part of your everyday, regular life. if you want those values and those intentions to come to fruition.
Because we all know what happens. I know what happens for myself when I'm not tending to myself. And it is the time of the year where so often you just throw it to one side because there's so much else to do. And then you kind of get to Christmas Day burnt out, stressed, nervous system is just, you know,
you're in fight and flight, pretty much.
And you kind of wonder, but I had these wonderful intentions and ideas of what I wanted to create. Why didn't it happen? Well, because, like you're saying, unless we're tending to ourselves and filling up our cup, it's very hard to bring those things into fruition from a place of an empty cup.
So we don't want that for you. We want you to have a Christmas that is fully aligned with your values, with your intention. So we've created this beautiful sacred Christmas bundle that is all about bringing the values, your values and your intention to life. It's going to infuse your Christmas with more sacredness, more connection, more, simple self-care and more energy.
It's like all of our favourite things, isn't it?
It is.
That we've cultivated and created over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And we've just kind of infused them into this beautiful sacred Christmas bundle. And there is things like a self-care, 25 days of simple self-care. You can just have it there. Advent calendar. I don't want to forget anything. No. Advent calendar that is all about kindness and simple rituals for you and your family. There's sacred conversation starters and a really beautiful simple dinner blessing. So something you could do every night with your family throughout December. And there's this beautiful set of 4 sacred Christmas stories that Marie created to journey with your family through December. And they really are. They're our favourite things, all wrapped up into a simple offering.
Yeah, that's so easy to do. I mean, the self-care is, you can stick it, it's designed to just put on your fridge, and there's one thing for every day. And you can just choose one thing if you wanted to and do that for 25 days leading up to Christmas, or you can follow them. They only take 2 minutes each. Yeah. And then what else? The Advent calendar.
Yeah.
It's we have got it here, the Advent calendar, and we've created these beautiful prompts. A lot of them about like random acts of kindness, like leave a note for someone in a library book. Like you and your child write a note, or there's some rituals to do together to promote more connection.
You don't need one of these either.
No, you could just put them in a bowl.
Yeah. Or hide them around the house. Like there's all sorts of simple ways to create the wonder and the anticipation.
Yes. I asked Hudson the other day, I said, what are you looking for? He said, I'm so excited about Christmas. I said, what do you like most about Christmas? And he said, when we get the Advent calendar out and we start our stories each day and we pick the things out of the Advent calendar. I mean, I was fully expecting him to say, the presents. I was like, no, it's the Advent calendar. Yeah. It's been such a beautiful point of connection for us in our home and creating the magic and the wonder.
And the sacred conversation starters and the dinner blessing, they are all about how to weave connection. And they're really designed, there's for younger children, there's for teens and tweens, just trying to capture the whole family unit and how you can just be like stoking and cultivating the fire of connection all the way through December, because that is what really feeds us as mothers and as in the family. You move into Christmas Day and beyond Christmas Day really connected to each other.
Yeah.
And then the stories, they've been a beautiful creation of Pickles the Mouse and the Christmas Tomty, and they go on a journey through kindness and really focusing on giving, like how Christmas is all about giving and beautiful connection in the family and between Tomty and which is a little house elf, and Pickles the Mouse. So it's it's
really special.
Yeah,
it's really special. And you're probably wondering, like, how much does that cost? And it's $35. It's so affordable because we know that money at Christmas can be something that is an issue for families, and feeling like putting aside money for something like this can feel like an extra. But what we wanted to make it really
achievable for people,
and also that it will do so much to enhance your own experience of December and Christmas, and it will like supercharge the connection and the wonder in your family for years to come. It is the best money spent.
Yeah. It'll be the best $35 you spend this Christmas.
It will. And it's available until the 3rd of December, Tuesday the 3rd of December. So next Tuesday.
Midnight on Tuesday the 3rd of December. Because we want you to have these tools for December. That's the idea, that it just weaves right through all the days leading up to Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can get...
Oh, don't forget the bonuses.
Oh, yeah. Bonuses. We have got some beautiful, epic, super nourishing and lush bonuses.
Yeah. Because we love you so much, we just want to love you up a bit more.
Yes. Because it really is about you this Christmas.
Yeah.
Nourishing yourself.
And so we've got this beautiful yoga nidra that Bridget wrote and spoke, and it's so, I listened to it the other night, it's so nourishing. And yoga nidra, if you've never done it before, it's the yogic sleep. It's like my favourite type of yoga. They say that 30 minutes is worth about 3 hours of sleep. So we know at this time of the year, it's, just things that can refuel you and bring energy back into the system and create more spaciousness and time.
And more time.
Yeah.
It really does. I used to do yoga nidra when I had a little baby, and she'd sleep and I'd do yoga nidra because it charged up my energy so much.
Yeah.
So that is a really, really potent and beautiful one just for you.
Yes.
And then there's also a really beautiful grounding and heart meditation. Also, I wrote that one as well. And that is all about the nourishment of the heart. And that's what we've threaded through this whole ceremony today, is about how do you really plug back into your own heart and really for Christmas dive deep into that heart space, because that is where the well of compassion and patience and kindness and fun and all of that come from, is your own heart. So like pouring all these stuff back in.
And you may have experienced it when we did just that very short 5-minute grounding practice. Well, this is a 25-minute practice, so it can really just fill you up and ground you in those times when you may feel overwhelmed or anxious.
And you can do this before bed. It's a really beautiful time to do it.
Yeah.
If you feel like your days are too full or you have children around, it's really beautiful to do it just before you go to sleep.
Yeah. And talking of children, having children around.
This is a fun one.
The third bonus we're a little excited about is a gorgeous practice to do with your children or for your children to do. It's the Santa Claus sequence. And in my former life, I was a yoga teacher for kids. I had a little Yogi Bears business. And this is one thing that we did around Christmas that the kids had so much fun. And so you too can have fun shaking your little reindeer butt and
or just you can stand and you can have a cup of tea.
Yeah, that too. It's 12 minutes reprieve. You can put that on every day and sit down and you can do your grounding meditation or your yoga nidra while your kids are doing something that will just fill them up and is fun for them as well. Yeah.
So if it sounds like a yes, or if you have any questions, please reach out to us. But the link to purchase is in the description below this video, and it's also in the email that you've been sent with the video.
Yeah.
So just do yourself a favor. You deserve it. And it's just it will be the gift that gives and gives and gives. And it's $35 for you and your whole family.
Yeah, so follow the link below. You can get more information there and purchase it there.
We have just so enjoyed sitting in ceremony with you today. And
so let's close the ceremony.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here. And we'll take, if you have a candle, you can just take this now too. We'll just take our candle. I, Marie, am stepping out of ceremony.
And I, Bridget, am stepping out of ceremony. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing this time with us.
Yeah, means a lot to us.
We appreciate you.
Have a wonderful Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Mwah.